If you have your Bibles, go ahead and open them to John chapter 21. And while you're turning there, look at your neighbor and tell them that you prayed all week, that you'd sit next to them. So, John chapter 21, verse 1 says, "Later Jesus appeared again to the disciples beside the Sea of Galilee. This is how it happened. Simon Peter, Thomas called the twin, Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, the two others of the disciples were with him together. Simon Peter said, 'I'm going fishing.' And they said, 'We'll come too.' So they went to the boat, but they caught nothing all night. At dawn, Jesus was standing on the beach, but the disciples couldn't see who he was. He called out, 'Fellows, have you caught any fish?' 'No,' they replied. Then he said, 'Throw out your net to the right-hand side of the boat, and you'll get some.' So they did, and they couldn't even haul in the net because there were so many fish in it. And then the disciple Jesus loved said to Peter, 'It's the Lord.' When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on a tunic, for he had stripped to work. He jumped into the water and headed to shore. Then the others stayed with the boat and pulled the loaded net to the shore, for they were about 100 yards from the shore." So, have you ever had a moment that you wish you could go back in time and kind of change something? Maybe a conversation, maybe something you did, but you wish you could go back and change that. Have you ever had a day that you wish you could go back and change it? I imagine all of us have had one of those type of days that we wish we could go back in time and change something. And for me, I've had a few of those, but one sticks out more than others. I really hate hospitals. Can't stand them. And I fight myself all the time just to go. And it's not because I don't care about whoever's there. It's that I just don't like them. That when I'm there, that image that they're in the bed just creates an image in my head that stays with me for the rest of my life. And I can't stand it. So I usually fight myself to go. So, when Ruth Ann got sick, I hardly ever went and visited her. It wasn't that I didn't care for her. It wasn't that I didn't love her. It was that I didn't want that image that she looked like in the bed staying with me the rest of my life. And so I didn't go see her very much. And I had faith that she was going to get better, and that when things got better, then I would go see her, and we'd go do the crazy things that we used to do together. Then a few weeks ago, my grandma passed away, and she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's a few years prior. And when she got diagnosed, I knew what that disease did, so I didn't go see her because I knew what happened with Ruth Ann. So my mom, my dad, my sister would go see her, and they'd come back with reports. They'd say, they can't remember who they are. She didn't look like herself anymore, that she would be crying. And it really hurt me, and I couldn't stand that. So I didn't go see her. So, when I think back, I wish that I could go back in time and change that. And it's not that I would go visit them more, which I probably would. It's that I wish I could go back in time and take a picture with them before they got sick. Because that's how I want to remember them, not how they were in the bed before they passed. I think that in John chapter 21 here, I think that's kind of what's going on here. The disciples have had a lot going on. Listen to these last few months, okay, that they had. They returned to Jerusalem basically in a parade. Everyone's excited to see them. And then at supper, all kinds of mysterious things happen. You have a guy that's going to go betray them. Then they go to the Garden of Gethsemane, and surprise, there is a group of people with torches and swords and all kinds of things to arrest them. Then they arrest Jesus, okay, and they watch him get beaten, mocked, spit on, and eventually die. Then they see him take his body to a grave, only to not be there 3 days later. Okay? So then we see Peter. He betrayed Christ 3 times. We have Nathaniel, who said Jesus wasn't from Nazareth. We have Thomas, who doubted he had resurrected. So to say that they had a bad couple of months is an understatement. They had it rough. So they don't know what to do with themselves. And they no longer have Jesus to recognize, tell them what to do. They no longer have him to lead them into to get food, shelter, that kind of things. So they're empty and they don't know what to do. And Peter does what only he knows how to do. He goes fishing. I think we've all been there where we wanted to go fishing to distract ourselves from something. So he goes fishing, and the others say, you know what, that's not a bad idea. So they go with him. And notice who it says went with him. It says specifically Peter, Andrew, James, John, Nathaniel, Thomas, Philip, and himself. However, many scholars believe that the rest of them were there also. But these specific people mentioned needed a pick-me-up. They had been struggling with all kinds of stuff, all this junk going on. They saw gruesome things, and they hadn't had a great couple of weeks. So they go fishing, and they do something they knew how to do. But many scholars believe that their fishing trip had any number of reasons why they went. Some people believe they went for sport and hobby, that they liked to fish, they wanted to go fishing to distract themselves. Makes sense. Others think that they were physically and emotionally drained, that fishing was like therapy to them. Others think that they needed food, they were hungry. Jesus provided all the food for them, so they needed something to eat, so they go fishing. Others say that Peter had started to backslide, that he went back to his previous occupation, so they thought he backslid. Whatever the reason, they went fishing, and the others followed with them. But what they didn't realize is they put themselves in a place where Jesus could meet them. See, what happens is when you and I are uncertain of what to do, when we don't know what to do, when things are rough, when things get tough, we simply need to do what we do, and God will do the rest. That doesn't make sense, does it? But it's really true. Peter knew how to fish. He liked to fish. He enjoyed fishing. So he goes fishing. So naturally, everyone follows him. Maybe today, you don't know what to do. You got something rough going on. I don't know your story. I don't know what you're dealing with. But I'm sure something has come to mind. That something's keeping you up at night. Something struggling. And trust me, your story, if you're like me, you don't want that. It haunts you. So what I'm here to tell you is to do what you do. If you like to go fishing, fish. If you like to play cards, play cards. If you like to work puzzles, work puzzles. Whatever you like to do it. Whatever you like to do it. See, what the disciples didn't realize with their fishing trip was its intentionality. They went fishing on purpose. They went for a reason. But what they didn't realize was they put themselves in a place to meet Jesus. And by deciding to go fishing, they got to experience it. Whenever you and I are uncertain and distracted to things that are going on, we need to do what we do, and God will do the rest. Look at your neighbor, tell them to do what they do. And whoever's on the receiving end, remind them that God will do the rest.
Do what you do, and God will do the rest.
Let's go back and
Let's
go back and take a look at verse 3. It says, they got into the boat and fished all night. Yet they caught nothing, okay? Unbelievable, right? These guys can't catch a break. They can't even fish right. They enjoy fishing. They like to fish, but they can't even catch a fish. Unbelievable. That's got to be discouraging, right? We've been there. We've done things like that. We've been in that place where we do something we like to do, but we can't even do that right. But what's true is that in those times when we can't do anything right, that is when we need Jesus the most. It may temporarily disappear. We may find things to fill the hole for a moment, but it always comes back. Only true peace comes in Jesus. Apart from Him, we can't do nothing. And with Him, we can do anything and everything. So the disciples had to be constantly reminded of this. They had to be reminded that without Him, they couldn't fish. And despite Jesus already appeared to them in Jerusalem and in Galilee, the disciples still had a hint of disbelief. They weren't expecting, they were still expecting deep sorrow, experiencing it. They had probably a hint of post-traumatic stress. They just couldn't believe what all had happened. And I want you to picture this. The disciples, they can't catch a break. And all of a sudden, someone from the beach yells at them. They say, "Hey, have you any fish?" I mean, they got to have some attitude, right? They fished all night. Something went on. They can't catch a fish. So this random guy yells from shore, "Hey, have you any fish?" I imagine they had attitude. Really, dude? You think we'd still be fishing if we caught something an hour ago? Come on. We ain't caught nothing. But what is important is it says Jesus was standing there. He is occupying a location. See, I believe in our sorrow, in our bad times, when we can't catch a break, when nothing is going our way, Jesus is standing on the beach with his hands open wide, saying, "Hey, come here. I can help you. I'll give you a hug. I can help you." With Jesus, we can overcome everything and anything. Why don't you look at your neighbor and remind them that Jesus is standing there. So, this man on the beach, he shouts at these guys, "Hey, fellas, have you any fish?" And he already knew the answer to the question. He knew they didn't have any fish. He expected a negative answer, but Jesus initiates a conversation. He calls out to them, "Have you any fish?" He asks them a question. And when I read the passage, I read their response, again, with some attitude. But this man gives an odd proposal. He says, "Cast your nets on the right side." Now they gotta think, I've already tried that. I tried that an hour ago. Come on, dude. But they're in their mind, they're thinking, "Wait, I don't have anything else to do. I'm waiting on Jesus to come. I'm hungry. Heck, I might as well try it." So the front of the boat this time, so they tried. And what they realized is Jesus didn't make a proposal, he made a promise. He said, "Cast your nets on the right side." He didn't say, "Try the right side." He said, "Cast your nets on the right side." And he made a promise. So when they decided to obey that commandment, they took a chance. And they got blessed. They caught so many fish that they couldn't haul it in. So see, when you and I, when we decide to follow Jesus, every day isn't perfect. But we will experience Him like never before. Sometimes I think we need a reminder of that we have to be obedient to Him in order to be fruitful. We have to be willing to do something we normally do 1,000 times a different way. When things get rough, we have to lean on Him. You know what really puzzles me is why the disciples didn't recognize Him. I mean, didn't they know His voice? I mean, they spent how many years with Him? I mean, I would know your voice in Walmart if you called my name, but they didn't. Not only could they not hear Him and know who He was, they couldn't see Him. So was it that foggy that morning, that there's just a stick figure? Was it that early in the morning that overcast maybe made him a little blurrier? Were they spiritually blinded? I don't know. But it's interesting to me that they couldn't see him or hear him, much less experience him. So, because they did not expect to see him, they didn't expect to experience him. And I want you to write this down and really, really think about it this week. When is the last time you experienced Jesus? See, they weren't expecting to see him. They weren't expecting to see him on the beach. So they didn't recognize him. And maybe there's some walls in your life that you need to be repaired of. Maybe there's something that's causing you to not see him or hear him, yet he is on the other side of the wall with his hands open wide, waiting, initiating conversation. What is keeping you from experiencing Jesus? Verse 7 is my absolute favorite of the entire passage. I love it. It said, the disciple Jesus loved recognized him. He said to Peter, that guy is the Lord. John refers to himself as the disciple Jesus loved. How awesome is that? John says, you know what? I'm the guy that Jesus loves. And I think that I need a reminder of that all the time. I need to remind myself that I am the one Jesus loved. I'm the disciple Jesus loved. Why don't you look at your neighbor and let them know that Jesus loves them?
Jesus loves you.
Yeah, I know we did that.
Here's my favorite part of the passage, though. It says, verse 7, when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his tunic, for he had stripped to work. He jumped into the water and he headed to shore. Now, first off, what the heck is Peter doing naked in the boat? I mean, that's what grabs my attention first. I'm reading that. It says he had to put on his tunic, for he was stripped to work. He was naked. He didn't have any clothes on. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why does he not do that? And I did some research on this. I thought maybe he was getting a suntan. He needed a little sun. But my research showed that was common in the first century. That it was normal for fishermen to fish in the nude. I was like, well, that's interesting. So I kept reading, and it said that clothes apparently slowed down fishermen. When they jumped in the water to help with the nets or whatever, that it slowed them down. I'm like, clothes slows you down that much. Something's going on here. Peter put on his garments, okay? He does something unthinkable. He jumps into the lake. And he swims to see Jesus. When the others stayed in the boat and eventually got to shore. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Peter has hit complete rock bottom. That he remembers denying him 3 times. And that's not the image he wants to remember Jesus by. So when John says, that's the Lord, he puts on his clothes and he jumps into the waters. He's that excited. He wants to get that one last picture with Jesus. So he gets excited. He jumps into the water and he goes to see him. And he goes to put his hands around him and he goes to say, Jesus, I'm sorry. And he wants a hug. And he wants peace. It's such a beautiful picture. But see, there are 2 sides to the story. It says that Peter jumped in, but the other disciples took their time getting to shore. I wonder why. Why did Peter jump in and others didn't? He was that excited to see them. Many scholars said that Peter wanted to get there first. He was selfish. Other others say that the fish was for food. They were bringing in food. But if you read the rest of John 21, you realize that Jesus already fixed breakfast. So it wasn't food. Here's what I think happened. I think Peter saw them, and he knew everything that went on. Only Jesus could fix it. So he jumps in to swim to him, while the others are content, taking their time to shore. I don't know about you. I want to be Peter. I want to jump in the water when I see Jesus. I want to be that excited to see him. Too many people are waiting in the boat. Too many people are content taking their time getting to shore. I don't want to be that kind of person. I want to be the person who does something crazy. I want to be the guy who jumps into the waters and swims as fast as I can to see Jesus. See, John 21 tells us he didn't get to shore. It doesn't tell us that. And here's what I think happened. I think John realized when he was coming to shore in the boat that he messed up. That he wasn't as excited to see the Lord as Peter. And that he was taking his time. I think he was ashamed. I really did. And I think as he came in, he realized, I'm not going to record that part. Because he was ashamed. I want to be the type of follower of Jesus who I can't help but jump for joy when I hear someone got healed. I want to be the type of person that can't wait to run to someone to pray for them. I want to be the type of person that is excited to see Jesus on the shore, and I do something crazy and jump into the waters to see him. You know, let's pray. Jesus, we just love you. We thank you that only true peace comes in you. That without you, we would be miserable. We never experience peace, nor joy, excitement. God, we just thank you for that presence. God, we just pray that anything that is keeping us from seeing you and hearing you is removed today so that we can see you clearly. God, just give us the excitement level to jump into the waters to see Jesus. God, we love you.